All right. Hey there. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org and the Gray Hat SEO Agency. In today's video, I have something special. I've been asked about this so many times. I decided to go ahead and not only share how to expand your proximity with you, but also a client asked me, hey, what exactly are you doing? Is it going to hurt me? What's an impression? What's CTR? How are you getting these expansions, Chris? So I'm going to walk you through. If you have the resources, I'll go through the resources that you will need if you want to start running impressions, clicks, expand your proximity with less CTR. On top of that, I'll also go through the checklist of things that you need to make sure that you have done. It's not a brand new business just ranks, right? Or ranks 10 miles. It just doesn't happen. Alongside of that, I'll also walk you through exactly which URLs. You don't have to manipulate them, but there's specific URLs. I'm sure there's more. I might miss a couple, but I just want to share with you or bring the horse to the trough, right? I want to share with you what we're doing, what's working right now. It's 2025. This is Google Business Profile, how to expand your Google Maps. I'm Chris Palmer. It looks like the live is working. I don't want to waste too much. And we'll turn this off. So I went ahead and created a spreadsheet where I started some of the URLs that you'll need. Now, there's lots of tools out there, all right? I'm not here to do a tool walkthrough. I don't have any affiliate links. I don't have services. This is just a how-to, all right? What I do want to show you, though, is we have a pretty tough niche, right? Everything's on the up and up. Everything's on the up and up. When we started this out, this is a highly competitive market, chiropractor in Los Angeles. We started right here. They were working with someone else. No clicks, no tomfoolery, simply impressions, what I'm about to go through with you. And here's March 28th. And as you can see, the gradual progression, they'll just skip right up to here. How's this? All right. We're able to expand. Here, let's go back to this one. Oh, it looks like it fell down. That's probably when the other team shut down. 1358. This is for chiropractor. I think it's just chiropractor. And then there we go. This is Los Angeles. No clicks, no reviews, not even that old of a business. We're expanding proximity. We're going up in rank for some pretty competitive key terms. This is only impressions. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So, and here's the last one. It looks like they gave us one on May the 2nd. So we've been doing pretty good. Starting here. Well, actually, they shut off here. 19.27. This is what happened. They were working with someone else. They shut everything off. It was down for like a week. And then here we are today, 1160. So enough about this. Let's go through not some. I'll walk you through the process of what we're doing here as far as no-click impression. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you understand that every search that you conduct is fed into the algorithm, for lack of better terms. It's fed into the algorithm, and every search is going to affect the next search. This is how Google works. You can see for yourself. All I did was every search on Google affects the next search. Yes. Now they're going to give you some fluff, but if you go down here, you'll see search history. Of course, that's fed in. Your location, machine learning. Wow, what a buzzword. Personalized autocomplete, personalized results. There's patents. You can go and search them yourself on Meta or however you look up patents with AI. Search for patents about every single search, every single click, every single movement, every single entity. There's also these U codes. Here, watch this. I'll show you one more thing, and then we'll get into the tutorial, okay? When you scroll inside of here, not inside of this, but what is called the render DOM, you can see U, and then there'll be a code. It'll say US00239. You're like, well, what does that mean, Chris? What that means is every single action, every word, every search, every movement within this page, even these AI overviews, is being tracked, fed back into the machine, for lack of better terms, in order to influence the next searches. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're helping train the next searches. Now, how do you do this? What we have found is without generating a click, because oftentimes you'll talk to a business owner, they don't want you clicking, they don't want to build reviews, they've been working on their business, they want something safe, I'm sure you do, something safe but effective that's going to help me expand proximity. And it's even effective within other countries, right? Enough jabberjaw. Now, like I mentioned before, there's tons of tools out there. You can go custom, you could go Python, steer clear of Selenium. There's CTR Booster, there's InMillion, there's Awesome Traffic. There's tons. There's Epic. There's tons. All right. What I will tell you is this: every search will originate from within Google. All right. So it's either going to start on Google and then go over to Maps, or on Maps and it's going to go into organic. And there's two different types of searches, which we'll go through right now. All right. So without any further ado, I want to share with you this sheet. We're going to call this the Expand Proximity Sheet. All right. I will walk you through the URLs that we grab. Of course, we have auto-generated these, so it's been a while. I might be a little rusty. And there's more than this, but I'll walk you through the process of what you're going to need to expand proximity. Pay very close attention to certain URLs and use your imagination. Use your noggin, all right? So I think everything's working pretty good here. I dogged it long enough, Mr. Palmer. All right, and it's good to see you. Whomever's here, I know it's been a while. I've been working on a few things. Don't worry, I didn't go anywhere. All right, let's see here. Restream. Christian, it's Chris. Hey, how are you, Chris? I'm doing phenomenal, and I can't wait to show this to you guys and gals. All right. So first and foremost, some brief housekeeping. If you're going to expand proximity, utilizing impression, no clicks, the safe way, and be able to get actual results in cities like Los Angeles for chiropractor or any home service or local business, you're going to need a couple of things. Now, whether you come see me or you go to another service, you're going to need proxy. All right. You're going to need software. All right. You're going to need rotating ISPs. That's right. Residential rotating ISP. All right. These aren't dynamic. This isn't a pool. It can be costly, but remember, you can cycle back. Proxies are going to be mobile, 4G, 5G. Software is going to be any automation, no Selenium. It can't be anything that's off the shelf, really. I would look into Playwright, maybe something like Playwright will probably do you very well. All right. Rotating ISP, big pool, but not dynamic, not a pool, but a big pool, if that makes sense, right? Like, don't go to Storm Proxies where everybody and their uncle is utilizing the proxy pool. I've made that mistake. They have to be ISPs that rotate. So you buy 100 of them and they rotate for a particular area. On top of the proxies, the software, the rotating ISP, the next step that you're going to need, and I go through this all the time, your business has to have age. It can't be very brand new. It can't have just started last week. Do you have at least a month, 60 days, 90 days? Do you have reviews? Is there any reviews? More than 3 is best, right? On top of that, are you optimized? Right? Like, you can't take an unoptimized profile that's brand new with no reviews and think you're going to get the expansion. Nope. There's certain ducks that need to be in a row. All right. And I don't want to waste too much more time here. Make sure you have some age, get some reviews. Nothing validates an entity better than an outside entity, another person, another entity, right? Optimize your profile around one thing. Don't dilute. And my personal favorite is, are you running LSA and or ads? Real businesses run ads. Real businesses want to show up. You want to hurry up the process? Pay Caesar's what Caesar's. With that being said, that's going to wrap up that piece. Let's start going through some of these URLs. Now, I want to walk you through, we'll even use the good doctor here. All right. So what we're going to do is we will come out here, and I'm utilizing a tool called Plepper. It's free. It's a Chrome extension, and there's lots of them. All right. Now, with that being said, you want to come out here and you can search for Dr. Becker, and that's going to be in Los Angeles. And I'll try to hurry along because I got to get with a little C, but I want to point these things out. So KGMID, this is the Knowledge Panel ID URL. This right here, copy this link. All right. And then you want to put it in this column here. KGMID. See this right here? It's a search. Now, when we're looking to do directional requests, there's 2 types. You have desktop and you have mobile, all right? Or my mistake, you have desktop or organic, and then you have maps. Let me share with you north, east, southwest. North, east, south, and west, here's what you're going to want to do. So any of the areas that you're in, all right? So let's say you want to go to Los Angeles, all right? So you come in here to Los Angeles, and let's say that you want to come up in here. Now, wherever your business is, remember, this good doctor is in Los Angeles. So he has a Los Angeles address. You identify what the primary area is. See the red? Now you need to identify areas within that area. Don't get greedy, all right? Little bits at a time. Once you become an authority, then you can venture outside. But we want slow gains. I don't want to get quick rankings, maybe, or fast. I want to get ranked for sure, right? I don't care how long it takes. With that being said, we're in Los Angeles, get the outline in red. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the top. We want to go outside of our area. So 1.2 to 1.5 miles outside of where our listing is. So if you're looking at a GeoGrid, for instance, right, up into here. So we're all red over into here. So watch this. So Chinatown, there's Glen. Okay, perfect. So we're going to come inside of here. All right, Glen. So, of course, that's why we're doing bad there. So, North Hollywood. So, here's what you do. You look up the business. Stephen Becker Chiropractor. All right, make sure that it gives you the right one. Research it so it gives you the right place URL. It's all about these URLs. More importantly, it's the data at the end. These stick parameters at the end make everything. It's extra data feeding back to Google. Don't get lost in the weeds. So we get this up here, and what we want to do is we want to identify that area that we're red in, right? So in my case, it's going to be North Los Angeles to Dr. Stephen Becker, all right? Now, what I would consider this is going to be an east, all right? So this is a directional request. So what you want to do is grab this. I always use Notepad. Come into here, directional request, yada, 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 equals. Okay. Just grab this. You can trim these down if you absolutely want. My only goal here is to showcase to you exactly what we're doing. So this is going to be actually east. This is a directional request going east inside of a zone that we are poorly ranking in. Why are we giving this request? We want to expand proximity. But don't stop there. We're going to go northeast, southwest, and remember, that was inside of maps. There's also desktop. Let me share that with you here. So Dr. Stephen Becker, Los Angeles. Dr. Becker. All right. Stephen Becker, chiropractor. Okay. So we're going to go North Los Angeles to, and don't mind my spelling. All right. Now, hopefully it knows what I'm asking for, which it does. See how it's given me another directional request? However, this is inside of organic desktop. Of course. So now think about your proxies. I'm rotating mobile proxies. That's within Maps, and or I'm rotating for an iPhone or an Android using mobile. The ISPs or the ISPs that are going to be residential, right? Comcast, anything that's tied to whatever area you're in. That's when we're going to do the desktop, right? You want to not only match and mirror. I know this is a software situation, but you're not only matching and mirroring dimensions and size and battery, all the small specs, make sure you have that right, but match and mirror IP and fingerprint. If you're lazy, like a lot of people I talk to, even myself sometimes, there's lots of tools out there. Tools like Ads Power, that you're allowed to upload a custom template in order to match or bind a fingerprint. You with me? So make sure you're doing that. So Los Angeles, California to Dr. Stephen Becker. So this is a directional request, but this time, this is inside of organic. So what we want to do here, end query. So we want to do this, end window. So we're going to get rid of this. All right, now I'm going to grab this. Copy, come on up here. All right, perfect. Los Angeles, Stephen Becker. And VED, this VED is going to be this right here. So we can go ahead and grab that. And then you just go to the end, right? See where it says end here? So you just stop right here and grab this, all right? So now just to double check, make sure that it populates. Boom, you have it, all right? So what we want here, or what we have here, is going to be the East desktop. All right. And that's going to be an impression. Now, again, once you know what you're looking for, you can automate this and speed this up. So now you understand the difference between a Maps directional request and a desktop directional request and the different URLs that Google throws, right? Let's move forward. All right. The next thing that I want to showcase to you is going to be the images. All right. So image requests are very important, even though they've taken them away. They've taken away the view counts. Now, it's not that they're not still important, and it's not that the view counts aren't still there. They are. But here's what you need to be looking for. All right. So you find your good business. We'll use the good doctor here. Or we'll get out of here. Dr. Stephen Becker. All right. Now note, there's all types of images, but I want to share with you how to get to the ones that matter, and think about this from a map standpoint, a desktop standpoint, and then also desktop on maps. All right. And then you have your mobile devices, or you could spoof mobile device. But I just want to share with you what you have to do. So you go to Dr. Becker in Los Angeles. Well, don't go to Dr. Becker. You come inside of here. Now there's numerous types of images. Remember, these are images, these are images. So here's what you want to do. You come in here, go to photos, up here at the top, by owner, street views, video, all. All right. Now remember when there used to be a view count on here? There still is. I'm not going to go digging through the views, but what I will do is this. So you want to go right here like this, right click, inspect. You're going to go up here to sources. And when you come inside here to sources, you're going to look down your list here. And what you're looking for is these right here, IH3, and then you're going to go to P. P is photo. All right, so there you go. And if you want to look through the code to see the view count, you can. And if you want to see the IP appended to your IP, appended to the video views, you can look at that too. They're tracking counts, they're tracking IP, they're encoded in hexadecimal, right, or base 64. So they're tracking IP, they're tracking everything, it's just not visible. When you look at the code, it's been encoded, right? Same with your IP range. Same with your longitude and latitude. All that doesn't matter. Just note that they're tracking. You need to have a unique session, unique browser, unique everything, unique fingerprint, unique session. All right. So we're going to grab this. You're going to right click and then you open, copy link, open this up. Now this is going to be an image. Now, if you have images that have phone numbers, if you have images that are geotagged, I know it doesn't matter, but if I'm going to push traffic, let's push ones that matter. Downloading all these URLs is very easy. Why not send impressions? This is interaction. This is profile engagement. Very important. All right. So this right here is photos. Next, we've done the directionals. Place ID. This is why I love tools like Plepper. All right. And I'm moving rapidly just to showcase the important things. All right. Now you can go place ID to place ID. For instance, we'll go right back here to Dr. Beck. All right. We're going to come in here, listing details. All right, scroll down to the bottom, place ID. All right, so you grab this place ID and Ludo CID and SIG. See this up here at the top? You're going to grab this. Now you can trim this if you'd like. It's completely up to you. But we want to make sure that we have the important information. All right, Luso CID, SIG. Okay. So we're going to grab this. Copy, come up here to the top. Boom, it knows who we are. All right. So this right here is the place ID, kind of like the KGM ID. Now let's talk about reviews. Not all reviews are created equal. All right, my friends. Not all reviews are created equal. When you have a business and you're really starting to curate and or do a lot of good work within your business, you want to take a look at your reviews, because if I'm going to allocate resources and time and budget, right, what we want to make sure is we're getting the best engagement, okay? When we're talking about impressions, I used to lean more towards higher impression counts. Quality makes a difference. That's why I take my time picking out certain things and I'm sharing them with you, all right? Now, I want to point this to you. So you come inside of here to your reviews, okay? You're going to scroll down looking for reviews. All right. View all reviews. Now, up here at the very top, this is where numerous people have showcased and or said a particular word numerous times. It's an added bonus. If it's a trust word, if it's a brand name, a primary key term, an entity, or an LSI term, right? Why? Because I'm able to get a unique URL. Each one of these are unique URLs. In fact, they're given a topic code or an entity code. Each back pain, entity. Tailbone, entity. I used to call these entity bubbles, right? But long story short, sciatica is very important. We want to come up here, grab the URL. All right. We come inside of here. See, Google search. I know it looks really messy and yada, yada, yada. What you're looking for, I'll show it to you. And client, there's that. NGS, perfect. Now, don't forget the original query, Los Angeles. And we want it, that's the pop out. Hold up. And LGS, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking, I know it's a lot of letters. It's a lot of letters. GSLP. All right. So you can ditch this, get this, coming on up to here. And new window. We don't need to worry about this. And BW. Okay, so this is the sizing of the window. So you don't necessarily care about that because then it knows what size monitor I have or what I'm working with. So you don't necessarily want that either. So I'm just going to trim that off. It knows that I'm in the USA, so we could get rid of that. We could get rid of this. Now, Los Angeles end. Okay, so this is a code. So this is going to call in the new window. That's the main pop-up. And it's going to call in each of the individual reviews. NEIX, whatever this code is. All right. Entity IDs here. And then this right here is NGS client. I think that has something to do with this down here. Here we go. See this? MID. All right. I'll save this for later so I can show you some. All right. So this MID or machine ID, that 01WXR, that's the topic that I chose. So what I'm getting at here is you could just come into here, go up to original query, and original query, yada, yada, yada. Get rid of all this. Keep this. Go to search, copy. All right. Put this here and it'll do the pop out again. All right. Oh, did I copy something? Actually, I promised I wouldn't do anything weird. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Am I going a little quick? Remember, there's query and original query, and then any odd codes, like any numbers, could be sizing of the screen, or it could be some type of handshake or fingerprint. It could be, if you see US, obviously it's appending it to you. So all we care about is we have a query, Dr. Stephen Becker, and number 10. So it's going to show us the 10 results and a new window, right? And it's going to give us the pop out. But on top of that, we have an original query where we placed a topic click right here. You see it? Excellent. So this right here, this is going to be a URL click. All right. Now, again, these URLs are so easy to automate, to get. There's functions within Excel inside of here. It'll make your life so easy. So what I'm getting at here is this is a individualized review impression. You don't just go through all the reviews. You could, but what I want are the topics, things that have been repeated. More importantly, if you go look at your leading competition, what's showing up for them? What's being repeated amongst winners in all the big cities? That's exactly what I'm going to send traffic for. All right. So one last piece I want to give you. Every single query, original query, like this right here is a query, right? Everything I'm showing you, you can also manipulate. All right. Everything I'm showing you, you can add extra. However, I've noticed, depending on how old the business is, if you're sending all unique impressions, there can be a massive issue. All right. So what I would do is just keep cycling through the ones that are easily accessible. Don't make up your own. All right. It's up to you, but I would not. All right. So if you want to go down into here, last piece I want to show you. So we have sciatica most. So there's newest, highest rated. So highest rated sciatica. We want to grab these. All right. So there's copy. You could copy this. All right. That's the contribution. I'm not going to play with it. All right. I trimmed off the end part, but you could stack these topics too. All right. Again, don't do that. That's a review query based upon an actual entity bubble. All right. In this case, it's actually a topic MID. All right. So that's how you do the reviews. If you just want to run review impressions, just come through here and you can grab each of them, but do not grab dynamic. See this when you click this dynamic link? This is a dynamic link. That means it changes. I don't want dynamic. I want it to be a static URL. Why? Google uses static. Dynamic is something that's shareable. It's almost like a 404, right? Or a 302 versus a 301. I want something that's going to be static, stationary. It's going to be there, right? Especially if I'm running traffic. So there is another piece I'll show you. I'll see if I'm moving along too much. Hopefully, happily going to rewatch it again, digest. What's up, Chris? Andrew, good to see you. Yeah, I am rushing through kind of because I want to get with little C, but I was asked quite a bit to go through this. So far, what have we done? KGMID, Knowledge Panel ID, directions. We've done directions through desktop maps, and of course, you could do it through your mobile phone. We've done northeast, southwest. What does that mean? Let me share this with you. So when you come inside of here and you go to maps, all right, you identify your primary area, all right? You know your primary area. How? Because it's listed inside your Google Business profile listing. You have a service area business? Great. You still gave Google an address, correct? So don't try to get too clever. So look inside of here, inside the red, and this is your identified market. Google says, okay, hey, this is Los Angeles. Anything outside of this is a cherry on top. It's a bonus, all right? So once we identify this, we go north, east, south, west. What I like to do is I look at a geogrid and I identify areas that a grid is on that are not in the 3-pack or in top 5. For instance, if I look up here, Shadow Hills, there's my north. I come over here to the west. I could see Calabasas. West, I'm probably 9+. You with me? Go down south. Where am I doing bad? I look for an area, Playa del Rey, right? Probably not this one. I'll look for another one. And the reason why I want to look for a pin that's right next to a location, so it's easier to track. That's all. So let's move forward. You get the northeast, southwest. You know how to do it on maps. I'll keep going with you. Google search. So this is very, very important. So you see this, Dr. Stephen Becker, all right? Los Angeles chiropractor, all right? Now, I'm not going to get crazy here, but see how this is a query? This right here, don't add anything else, but this is a query, all right? See this? So Google search, all right? So here, I'll go one row above. This could be a Google Maps search, all right? So there it is. Now you can add up to 13 different things before Google starts not recognizing the business, right? It'll start showing you random stuff or hallucinating as if it was AI, okay? What I mean by this is Dr. Stephen, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could go 7 up to 11 to 13. Then you start getting mixed results, right? It's up to you. Now, another one that you can do is going to be on maps, all right? So what you'll do is this. You'll come over here, go inside of here, go to maps, and you do the same exact thing. Don't just search for the business because you already have that URL. Do Dr. Stephen Becker, Los Angeles, do chiropractor, chiropractic. I'll give you one more helpful hint. What I like to stack in here is whatever I have aid tags on the website. Remember, the page that's connected to your Google Maps listing, if you go check your server logs, this is the page that Google is reading. Most notably, Google puts more weight to what? H tags, primary meta information, and what? A tags. Think about the render DOM. When you look at a render DOM, what do you see? A bunch of words and highlighted text. So what are they looking at? H tags, text, and A tags. That's it. So what I'm getting at here is if you have a drop down like this, sciatica, back pain, carpal tunnel, headache, neck pain. Gee, I wonder what terms I'm going to stack together and append to my brand name. The words are going to come in C, right? Dr. Stephen Becker, sciatica treatment in Los Angeles. Dr. Stephen Becker. But we don't just stop there. What I would highly recommend is this. Here, watch. This is exactly how we do it, just to give you one more in-depth look. All right. So you go to Los Angeles County, list of towns. All right. So you come inside of here, and there's usually a yellow list of cities with greater Los Angeles County, services and regions. Los Angeles, towns and municipalities in Los Angeles County, right? So you'll come in here, look for a list, all right? Cities and communities of Los Angeles. Just to prove a point, I just want to show you something. You come inside of here, great. You grab this list, okay? Now, these are all within that red, right? You can get municipalities, towns, neighborhoods, streets. Because remember, once you get everything inside of Excel, you make your list of your locations, right? And then what are you going to do? Well, it's going to be Dr. Stephen Becker, right? And then what? Well, you have terms. Well, what terms matter? Well, like I mentioned before, it's the ones that are here. So what do you put in this list, right? So neck pain, right? I will construct the search and then execute. And what are we including? Brand, location, hyper-specific location, primary key terms, entities. You with me? Excellent. And that's how we do it. All right. So come inside of here, delete that. Google Maps search. Now, I've already gone over this, but if you go over here to Maps and you just do a search, that's a Google Maps search. All right. The same thing I just shared with you inside of organic, those rows I just showed you. Do the same thing here, except for it's a different URL. See how it's maps? And here's what's great. There's also a directional. So you can do, how about Dr. Stephen Becker to chiropractor Los Angeles, or any other chiropractor. Remember, brands or names are entities. Entities, zip codes, locations, towns, streets, entities. Launch and Lad, entity. Abbreviations, entity. Anything that's been given or identified with an entity ID holds weight or value. The weighting and the value, I don't know, but I know there's more value here than anything else. Why? Because they're tracking it. Why would they waste resource? With that being said, here we go. This right here is a directional request as opposed to a search, right? So I'm just showing you the differences. So you can go like this, and then you can add extra destinations. I've never seen a bonus. I ran a test just doing this, like doing circles. It did not prove effective, all right? So that's going to be your Google Maps search. All right. Google search, which we already did. Directions east, I showed you. Product pop-outs. These are important. Just like with reviews, though, you want to be mindful on which products. Remember, the product section, I'll show you, is broken down by category and then product. If you have it set up like I like to set it up, you've already identified what's most important. Here, let me share this with you. So we're going to use the same example. All right. We come over here, and then you have products. Now watch. If I hit the View All button, and I come up to the URL, there it is. That's the View All. All right. So that's one URL. You could take my word for it, or you could look for yourself. But each thing that I click has a unique URL. More importantly, if you scroll over here to the end, they all have their own unique identifier. See this PRID? That's this. All right. So each category, this part, has its own unique identifier, and each product within a category has its own unique identifier. What's important to you? For us, anything that we have inside of here linking to a page is important, but this is how you do it. So you're going to take one of these URLs just like this. If you can trim off anything that identifies you or your location, Google search, yada, yada, and new window. So we'll get rid of this right here, NVED. So VED is a pop out. An original query, NGSLP, and then we'll scroll down to the very bottom, NSL client, right there. So this right here, come over here, watch, boom. Dr. Stephen Becker, Los Angeles, it gives me the pop-out. Impressions on the pop-out. Of course there's people interested in my products. I'm a service business. My product is my service, right? Anything that has a URL that's static, this is an impression location. What do I mean by this? So here's the product pop-out. Anything that has a URL that's static, that's a place to send impressions. So when you come into your profile, is this static? Yep. Oh, are these static? Yep, some of them are. How about this right here, the share button? Nope. But here's a great trick. You know inside of Plepper how it gives you the KGM ID, the CID, it gives you Yelp, it gives you everything? Well, they miss one, which is called the KGS, Knowledge Graph. But here's a small little trick I'd like to share with you. If you go to your business, you go to the share, because this is a URL that we like to use, grab this dynamic URL, and then bring it up. Now be quick though, because it's going to change. All right. So you come up here, you put your dynamic in, copy really quick. I might have been too slow. All right. See KGM ID. So knowledge panel machine ID. And then here's my number. See G code. Now, when you keep going over here, do you see this? SGNL, see this M code? So that M code signifies a location, Los Angeles probably, or more importantly, a street. But see this KGS, knowledge graph, very, very important. Google is displaying what it's been able to slurp up inside of that KGS, right? Why not help them along? So what do I mean by this? Well, Dr. Stephen Becker, yep, he's in Los Angeles and he's a chiropractor, but he likes sciatica and lower back pain. Remember, don't dilute the page that it's connected to, plus my products, plus the traffic that I'm getting, plus my reviews, plus the GBP it's optimized for it. Everything's around these same services, right? I'm not diluting. I'm not making things up. I'm not being greedy. I'm only feeding it more of what I'm optimized for. Don't go above 13 terms here. Google can get confused. Back pain. Chiro is a big one. Chiropractic, right? And we're going to trim this. And source. Okay, great. And KGS. And then here's a topic, even better. So here, let's grab this, copy, bring it over. Now, I'm not saying you want to do all of these. Actually, you should. You want to get as many as you can. But you saw what we did there? Now we're initiating a search that's including the terms that are important to us, alongside of that, location information that's important to us, plus topics that are important to us, right? I'm feeding that impression to Google. Gee, I wonder what Dr. Becker's about. Well, I'm calling KGS and I'm saying, hey, look at these key terms. Oh, by the way, he's a doctor, chiropractor, lower back. But then I query 1,000 different ways. Right? See, the best way to explain this is think about a business that drops mail in a location. This is where it came to me all of a sudden. Think about when you drop a mail in a location. I was working with travel clubs. They were non-existent. Also, dinner parties for insurance. They were selling term life policies. They'd invite them in for dinner and then try to sell term life. This is just a guy's name that had no existence online. He was doing a traveling show, right? He would drop mail, 5,000 pieces, 2,000 pieces, and literally within overnight, it seemed, boom, his GBP that's newly created is ranking for all of his primary key terms, and his name is ringing bells. It's like, poof. This didn't generate a click. It was just people looking up his brand name, looking up the name plus review, looking up the name plus scam, looking up the name plus whatever. Impressions. I digress. All right. So I gave you that extra one. This was a search plus topic plus KGS. All right. So this is a search terms and KGS, and I also added a topic. I'm going to give you one more. All right. One last one that can be important. Remember that list I showed you that showed all the lists of the cities? Here's what you need to gather up. There's APIs for this. I'm not going to go through it all, but what I will do is I'll do this. Here, you come over here to Los Angeles, right? So you have your business. All right. You go to the share, copy this link. It's going to go to it. It's going to give you a short, it's going to go to a dynamic. But what it's going to throw us is our KGS code. All right. So once we have identified our KGS code, remember that's knowledge graph, very important. Here's our place. Was I too slow? Too slow, Palm Boy. Too slow, Palmer. Here I go here. Share, copy. You got to be quick because it changes. All right. So here's what you do. Come inside of here. Remember, this is all for educational purposes only. Anything that can give you an up can also go down. All right. Anything that is good in moderation doesn't mean do more. This could potentially harm you if not done properly or if done in excess. Plus, on top of that, if you look through some of the patents, or if you have AI help you read through some of the patents, when they were doing testing, right? When they were testing, there is a norm per search, right? So there's a level of plus, neutral, or minus. So if you go above that level, like they've already gauged it, and it's changing on the fly. If you go above the threshold, they're just going to shut off that window, or in this case, a search. So all I'm getting at here is take it easy. When you get through this list, I'm sharing all of them. I know which ones specifically drive the needle. But as you get out there and start trying impressions, you're going to start noticing, oh, hey, when I do this one or this, I'm starting to see it light up. Like you do a search the next day, you look and you're like, wow, I'm going up 3 spots, 4 spots, 5 spots. I'm boosting the proximity 2 miles. It's a big deal. Anyway, here, I'm going to share this one with you, and then I want to go with little c. So we grab NKGS, right? Now, I know I'm not promoting manipulated URLs. However, these URLs do show up in the wild, obviously. So here's what I want to share with you, all right? So you have your KGM ID. So I'm saying, hey, I'm doing a search for this business. When I search for this, it gives me this panel, all right? And I'm in English, so let's get rid of this. And I have a query. Dr. Stephen Becker, Los Angeles chiropractor. Chiro, we'll just say. And, right? We'll get rid of this. And source NKGS. And watch. Remember all those codes? You saw KGS? Well, if you're going to feed information, not just key term and location, but you have to give the entity ID. Google understands hexadecimal, base 64, and you can encode it, but I don't know how to do that. But what I do know how to do is find and identify entity IDs and append them to searches that I'm already going to run. And what I've noticed is when I'm appending outside non-ranking proximity locations to searches, I see not a significant boost, but a gradual boost, which is what we love. Gradual this way, natural. So here's what you do. You go to Los Angeles, you identify your market, always. So in this case, it's going to be Los Angeles. So we identified the primary ranking area. And no, Google is the best in the world. Like, you shouldn't be running queries from Costco or wholesale. Like, I see some tools that will just blanket longitude and latitudes. No. Like, make sure you're in residential areas. Like, do you think Google spent all of those dollars and all of that time pinpointing and mapping out every flipping intersection in the entire flipping world? No, no, they didn't. They know exactly what's right here. If I drop my guy here, they know it's there. They know the launch, they know the lad, they even know what it looks like probably in the last 4 years, right? What I'm getting at here is when you're going for your locations, for instance, this one, like, be realistic. So North Sherman Way, I click on North Sherman Way. I look it up, North Sherman Way. It's within my proximity bucket, right? My service area and area served. Think about schema markup. There's service area, and then there's the actual area served. My service area has already been identified by Google based upon my Google business profile listing that I'm verified and they've given me an entity ID for, right? So they said, okay, you're a business and you are in this area. Okay, well, what areas within this area do you serve? And this is how you do that. So you come inside of here and see this M code right here. Plepper makes it easy. This M code signifies, see, North Sherman Way. See the search up here? Search query KGMID M/. Just this code means this location. With me? You can put more than one location within a query. Don't go above 13, or it gets confused. Codes and words, locations, variations, and entities are all interchangeable. Don't be greedy. Take your time. Take a look at this here. So I like to do the and. Just grab and, or you could do plus. All right. So here's what you'll do. You can append these locations, right? For instance, you come over here and you're like, man, I'm doing horrible right here. 7, this is easily identifiable, right? Let's just pretend that this was the actual locale. So we're going to do this one. So there's my search. There's my location. Copy. So now I can append a location just by code, which is easy to get through the API. It's like darn near cheap or darn near free. Stephen Becker at this location. This is the size of the screen. This is some other information and yada, 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 and KGMID. Perfect. So we're just going to do this. All right. Now I've appended it. Now, if you're ever curious to see, remember I went and got the M code and KGMID with that code. I know it's dorky. I know it's nerdy. See how nerdy it is when your phone starts to ring. See how nerdy it is when you've tried everything and then you start expanding. It's worth it. I wouldn't spend my time showing you if it wasn't worth it. Spent a lot of time figuring this out. And I hope it helps you. So I know it seems a little dorky or whatnot, but I really do hope that it's helpful. Another way to check yourself is like this. So you'll come inside of here, right? This is not maps. This is not on your phone. This is right inside of Google search. So you'll look up Dr. Stephen Becker. All right. Los Angeles chiropractor. All right. So here, I'll put that in there. I'll make sure that it's spelled right. I'll come up here and I'll get rid of all this stuff at the end and do end KGMID, which was that other location. Now I've added this. Now watch what happens. See, I've done a query for the good doctor, but it's showing me North Sherman Way. Why? I've appended this to the code. All right. So what could be really good for you is identify locations, all right, M codes, and then get KGMID codes, and then you want to get the KGS codes, and then terms winners have. And this is what you compile your URLs out of. Mix and match. You want as many as you can. Every search, every query needs to be unique. Every query needs to be within your proximity. Every query needs to be within a threshold. Some thresholds are more than others. That's why I like high competition markets. Why? Because everybody and their brother is going insane. Now, you take this kind of stuff into a small market like where I live, better take it easy, right? But chiropractor in LA, everybody and their uncle is trying something, right? So there's a lot more leeway, a lot more give. Plus, on top of that, what you'll notice in high competition markets is the true winners have been there and they're established for years. True authority comes with time and consistency, right? Now, there's always that volatile area, whether it's on maps or Google Organic, that 5 to 8 range. And that's right where we like to jump in. With skill set, you can get into that range. Time, authority, trust is how you get into the top 3. So hopefully that helps you out. That's going to wrap it up for me today. I'll see if you have any questions. I tried to give you as much information as I could. What's up, Chris? Thank you. Thank you. Yep, it's been an absolute pleasure. I was going to do a spin. Maybe that'll be my next video. It's been a while, so I wanted to give you guys some technical goodies, right? That's my thing. I know it's been a little bit, but that's my number one favorite thing is high technical stuff that takes me a long time to learn. The next thing I'm going to go over is there's a tool called Airfin View. We're trying to put it up on a web application, Airfin View, right? You guys heard of GeoSetter. You've heard of Xiffer, right? Well, this tool right here is completely free and it does it all, right? Everything that you want, this tool does it and it's free. On top of that, it even allows you to change video. All codecs, tons of plugins. It's super lightweight. I don't have a link, but that's what we just started using. I want to pass the good faith on to you. When we come back later tonight or the next day, I'm going to throw up a video that's going to be how to scale content for location, right? So how do we scale out optimized content in order to see what Google is going to reward us with? I'll walk you through that process, right? Getting the zones right, getting optimization right, getting the density right, getting the entities right, heading amounts right, headings optimized correct, right? On top of that, I also go through a very robust schema markup. I'll show you a little piece of that. I'll give you a little taste of that if you'd like. All right. Oh. Nope. I've been working. Organization. Here we go. So this will be the schema types that we work into a page. So we're going to create content. We're going to scale it across all top 3 counties in New Jersey, hit all the towns and cities. We're going to scale out all the pages in less than 20 minutes. On top of that, each page will have unique schema markup, web page, open graph, person schema, main entity, site navigation. So that's every page. The organization, services, geoshape, service area, area served, has map, place, locations serviced, knows about, and video. And this will be for a knockout mosquito. All right. So I think this will be a lot of fun. We're going to scale out some significant pages. That'll be next along with that schema. But that wraps it up for me today. I hope this has been fun. I am going to be trying out this new tool set. I do not have a link. I'm not sponsored. The tool is like $32. What we've been doing is, my good friend, if you've been following me for any period of time, we're very entrenched in the real estate lead selling, the motivated home selling market. In any case, staying up to date with the drivers, staying up to date with the different sizes and the fingerprints has been tough. So what we have found is that this gentleman here, hats off to him or his team, they stay up to date on all the different variations, like all the different devices. Look at all the devices, the browser software. The automation is Selenium, but the updates, sometimes it's 3 times a day. So what I want to do is I want to try out the tool that we build our tool off of, right? So we have like a cron job running in the background. So anytime that there's an update within Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Apple, Yelp, any of the services that we push traffic to, when it does a pull and it updates our end, I just want to see if the rest of his software works because we've already been using it. Not their automation, because I'm pretty confident that this is Selenium and that's not for us. So I just went and got this. He has like a new, I don't know, I'm going to try it out, so that'll be fun. Take care and thank you. Have fun with little C. Yep, I will. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you. It's been a true pleasure. Yep, no questions. Great. I'll look forward to it. I'm almost close to, I'm making a web application. Here, I want to show you guys. Did I put it on managed? Oh, not there. Anyway, I made my very first web app. I'm so proud of it. And it's going to be like a link network. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the impressions. Take your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.